Now what I'm going to do now is go into what's called drop D tuning, and for those of you who don't know what that is, I'm taking the 6th string from an E and going to bring it down to a D, one tone. D, 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 there it is nearly. Oh! Now what goes on is by doing that, the bar chords, or the power chords I should say, derived from bar chords, where formerly I had to do that, now I just use a flat finger. Things about it with drop D, of course you've got a lower string, so you get a more bassy, a fuller tone, of course, which is part of the deal. But the fact that you only need one finger now for a power chord is the root note and it's 5th of the scale, you can get a few frills that you usually couldn't do with the 1st and 3rd finger. So you get conducive to D major, which so many fiddle tunes and Celtic music and all sorts of things are based on, D major scale. Certain scales are conducive to certain kinds of styles. I often say to my students that you tell me your favourite bands and your favourite artists, I'll tell you what scale you like. Because it's a little bit like, this is another thing that I often say with my students laughing at me, not with me, but basically if you tell me that Mum cooked roast chicken on Sunday, then you went off to KFC on Monday, and then Red Rooster on Tuesday, and then got chicken McNuggets on Wednesday, chances are you like chicken, that kind of thing. So if you tell me that you love Led Zeppelin, okay, you love Wolfmother and all that, who, yeah, anyway, fans like that, sorry I nearly threw myself there. Or if you like Deep Purple and all that sort of business that Wolfmother seemed to listen to a lot, that and Uriah Heep, very heavy, very humble 1970. I'm crapping on here, I'll just start again. Basically, the great rock and roll rip-off. Anyway, what it is that chances are you like the E minor scale a lot. If you like Metallica, you'll probably be liking E a lot too, but you'll also like modes, you know, which are derived from Gregorian monks chanting in the 13th century, revitalised by Miles Davis in the 50s with a Kind of Blue album, which is a classic jazz album. And Metallica have many riffs that are in, you know, Phrygian mode and all these Locrian modes and all of this sort of stuff. So check out the theory, you'll find out why you like all these bands. Anyway, because this is D, let's get, sorry, Wolfmother threw me there for a second. Anyway, what happens is because you're in a low D, Anyway, that's all in D, you see. The reason is because of the drop D. You've got the pedal tone, and then what I can do is there's your root note, D, okay, and then you can do your various things off from there. That's a D minor. Sharp 9. Okay, and that's what goes on. You see, you get lots of different things, and then you can go up to the top end of the guitar. I can play a D. What I did was I just kept, what is that, a fifth octave there. That's a song I wrote a long time ago now, nearly 20 years ago I suppose, called Dancing on Clouds. But that's D, and that's with a drop D. That's what goes on. Hope you get something out of this show. I suppose I better wrap it up now. But basically what goes on is that I wanted to do two things. I wanted to introduce you to a 12-string guitar. They, as I said at the top of the show, they're not uncommon, but a lot of people nevertheless wonder what it's all about. It's a 12-string. It's set up like a normal 6-string guitar, except each string is doubled. You're holding down 2 strings at a time. I'll show it to you once again. You see that? So it's not 12 strings right across. It's 6 sets of 2, if you will. And then taking you through all the different ways you can use it. I've gone pretty much through a lot of different styles tonight. I've touched, you know, like I've quoted things like heavy metal and all that sort of business, whilst using a guitar that's used in blues. I've mentioned lead belly, I've mentioned Celtic music, I've quoted Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix and used snippets of that as an example of a classic song, but applied to 12-string guitar. So there's a lot of different things there, and it's used in so many different applications. It's just such a wonderful instrument. Very resonant and sonorous, I suppose is the term, but sometimes damned hard to play because of the 12 strings. But anyway, hard to tune sometimes too. Anyway, there it is. That's my show. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Take care.